will begin. Om Yo Brahmanam Vidadhati Purvam Yo Vai Vedanscha Prahinoti Tasmai Tamha Devamatma Buddhi Prakasham Mumukshurvai Sharanamaham Prapadye. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartribhyo Vamshirishibhyo Mahatbhyo Namo Gurubhyaha Sarvo Bhavlavarahitaha Prajnanakanaha Pratyagatho Brahmaivahamasmi Brahmaivahamasmi. Vedantartha Vibhasakaya Gurave Shantaya Sannyasine Nanavadi Nagendra Sanghapavaye Yogindra Vandyaya Cha Mohadvanta Divakaraya Bhagavat Pada Vidham Bibrate Tasmai Bhashyakrite Namostu Satatam Purnaya Bodhatmane Purnaya Bodhatmane. Om. Let us chant, recite the verse number 3. Vakyarthascha vicharyatam shrutishiro Shrutishirah pakshas samashriyatam Dustarkat suviramyatam Shrutishiro Shrutimatas tarko nusandhiyatam Brahmasmiti vibhavyatam harahar Garva parityajyatam Dehe hammatiruchyatam Buddhajanaihi Vada parityajyatam. Vakyarthascha vicharyatam. We are on this particular thing. Vakyarthaha. So, what is the Vakyam whose Artha, meaning, is being analyzed over here? Then which? That Vakyam is Mahavakyam. Why is it called as Mahavakyam? Not because it is a very long sentence. The reason is because the meaning that is delivered by it is indeed great. What is the meaning? That Atma is Brahman. That I am Brahman. Every other sentence which is spoken or every other cognition which arises goes into the confirmation that I am a jiva. I am an experiencer. I am the doer. I am limited. And the sense of limitation itself is misery. And therefore, every other form of knowledge which can cognition, because we are calling even cognition as knowledge. Just as you call information as knowledge, we do call cognition also as knowledge. So when the cognition arises, this is a pot. So Ghatajnanam, Patajnanam, Patam means a cloth. So Ghata Jnanam, knowledge of the pot, knowledge of the cloth, etc., these cognitions are also treated as knowledges. So just as we have said, information is knowledge, we say even cognition is also knowledge. We also have seen why does anything like information or cognition even attain the status of being knowledge? Why even that also attains the status? Generally, this is what is acceptable, that Ghatashyanam, Patashyanam is knowledge. So Ghatashyanam, Patashyanam means all the knowledge is included now. Everything is knowledge. Every other form of cognition is knowledge. But it will be knowledge of the pot, knowledge of the cloth. Our question is not what is Ghatashyanam, what is Patashyanam, but our question here is what is knowledge? Knowledge by itself, what does it mean? What does knowledge by itself would mean? So all these knowledges go to confirm the already existing experience which you have, and which is I am an entity, a small little thing. And this sense of limitation, parichinnatam itself is what? Is dukkham. So now, to eradicate, what is it doing? Only confirming. Forget eradicating. It is confirming. Aham Jiva. And therefore, it is not going to remove. This capacity of removing the notion that I am a Jiva is there only in the knowledge generated by this Vakyam. Okay? That for which one is struggling, not only in this life, but all the lives through every strife. That is what his struggle is, to be free from dukkham. Ultimately, what do you want? Ultimately, what is it that is wanted? I have freedom from dukkham. But nothing else has got this capacity except the knowledge generated by Tattvamasi. And because this is what will give that what is ultimately, truly, really wanted, the meaning is great, and hence the sentence, though consisting of only 3 words, becomes the great statement. Hence it is called as Mahavakyam. Now what are we doing? Contemplating, analyzing the meaning of this sentence. Analyzing in the sense, verifying its meaning. To what point should this be verified? To what point should this be verified? How long are you going to employ yourself into the dissection, analysis of the sentence? The whole Vedanta is just as much analysis of Tattvamasi. Then, by the way of various topics, also arrive, and so therefore the other topics are also discussed. But why are the other topics discussed? For the sake of Mahavakyam. Okay? For the sake of Mahavakyam. Tadartho api evam rupaha iti nishcheyaha iti dyotyate. So vicharya. What is vicharya? Abheda. What is now shown by this is abheda. Abheda, now you understand the word. Abheda. Non-difference. Tat and Tvam are non-different. Not that Tat will become Tvam or Tvam will become Tat. Not, it is not that you as a Jiva, you will go and merge in Ishvara. This is also not what is meant. How? By the virtue of that verb is. Is not a verb. What is it? Verb here. Was. Okay, chalo, whatever it is. Asti. Asti is a verb, so it is fine. Asi is a verb. The word asi is a verb, definitely. Tattvamasi. Asi is a verb. So over here, by the virtue, it is saying what not you will become. Not that you will become, this is not some sort of a promise. You will attain heaven. After you die, then God has kept an eternal heaven for you. No. Asi means is, which means now, even now, at this very moment, this Tvam is that. Then, Saru, if it is so, why am I not experiencing it? That is what we are saying. The crux of whole problem is ignorance, because you do not know. Is it possible that I can stay in ignorance? Yes, this is what is happening. And so now I am Jiva. Hey, will be turned into the knowledge that I am Brahman. Okay, Vicharya, Nishchaya. So now this alone is the meaning, and it is possible. Not only that, this is how it is. This Nishchaya. So Vicharyata means Nishchaya. Vicharyata means Nishchaya. That it should be, one should arrive at a firm, conclusive understanding, certainty about it. Because knowledge means certainty. Where there is no certainty, it cannot be knowledge. It is only a doubt. You can accept something. So for time being, let us accept it. For time being, let us accept it can become an abhyupagamavada. Let us accept it for time being, which means assuming. Assumption is not knowledge. When you assume in algebra, this is, let us call it x. We do not know what is the value of x. And let us call it x. And therefore you work until you arrive at the value of x. Assuming that as x does not make it what? Knowledge. It is an assumption. Assumption is not knowledge. Assumption can lead to knowledge. Assumption is a step to arrive at certainty. But assumption is not certainty. Knowledge is certainty. Knowledge will always have the quality of certainty. So there is certainty, means it brings confidence. There is a confidence. Even in ignorance, people are very confident. But the confidence of ignorance is way far more inferior than a doubt. Though the state of doubt makes you little diffident, a little lack of confidence. Maybe it is a snake, maybe it is a rope, maybe it is not, maybe it is like that. So that maybe leaves, but this uncertainty of the doubt is better than the certainty of ignorance. So some people have come across as very, very confident, but their confidence is foolhardy. What will you do? Because it is closing the doors to knowledge. At least this doubt is opening the doors to knowledge. That is much valuable. But a doubt cannot be even called as knowledge. So vicharya, the analysis, has to reach conclusive understanding. It should come that this is what is meant by the Upanishad. This is what is meant by Tattvamasi. Till that point, which means now you look, the entire energy of the person, her intelligence is now flowing only in this direction. And when it has to consume her, all the, what do they call, as if, the person's whole being. Now, if the attention is divided, diverted, then the person does not become available. He at the most can have a belief. Since my teacher has said, I will accept, and this is how it is. But that is not knowledge. It can become upasana. Upasana, nirguna upasana, can come close to knowledge. It looks similar to knowledge, but it still is upasana. I will just, since this topic has come up, just understand a little difference before we get into this. Though it is a little, prasangantar. So now, when you do Satyanarayana Puja or any other puja at home, Panditji comes and he keeps a supari, the betel nut, and then tells, this is Ganapati. The Gauri Ganesh Pujan is the first thing that one has to do. So that in that puja, then he will keep a betel nut and say, this is Ganesha, and then you will offer whatever, a drop of water, a drop of milk, and few grains of rice on top of it, some durva ankur, the blades of durva grass, etc. Om Smukhaya Namaha, whatever. And then over there, you do, this is the puja of Ganpati. You calling this betel nut as Ganpati, is it Ganpati? No. You know it is a betel nut. So it is not like misunderstanding the rope as snake, because you have the understanding it is a betel nut. You have the understanding that it is a betel nut. And on that you superimpose Ganpati. It is also superimposition. Over there, in case of snake and rope, though it is a rope, not knowing the snake is superimposed. Over here, knowing it is a betel nut, Ganesha is superimposed. And why are you doing that? Because superimposition is something that is done in ignorance. Why are you doing it in spite of knowing it as supari, knowing it as a betel nut? Not a cracked betel nut, you cannot use that. Some pan masala one may bring and keep and say supari to hai na ho gaya kaam. It requires to be a proper full betel nut, not cut or cracked or anything. Then knowing it is a supari, because now you have faith in that Shastra, which tells that this is how Ganesha should be worshipped. Vigneshwara should be worshipped before you begin any puja or any other Mangal Karya. Ganesha has to be worshipped, and in betel nut he can be worshipped. So if you have seen like that, when you accept that the teacher says Atma is Brahman, but do not strive to analyze the meaning, to come to a conclusion, but one assumes that I have accepted Atma is Brahman. What has happened now? Now the basic understanding is that I am a Jiva, but because of the Shastra and the Guru, you superimpose Brahmatvam on this Jiva. Whereas what is knowledge? Knowledge is saying that basically Atma is Brahman and Jivatvam is superimposed. In Upasana, what is happening? I am a Jiva and Brahmatvam, Brahmanness is superimposed. Though in both the cases, what is the person, the one who has knowledge will say, I am Brahman. The one who is doing the Nirguna Upasana will also say, I am Brahman. But in both the sentence, there is a great difference. This is the difference between knowledge and Upasana. Okay. In a lot of places, even Nirguna Upasana is also called as knowledge. Like in the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where it is that Nirguna Upasana itself will look like knowledge, because in both the cases, it is going to look similar. Okay, nevertheless. So now, if you this was just prasangikam. Prasangikam means the prasangantar it was there, but just because in the flow. Okay, it came through. Now, vicharya. What is vicharya? That analysis has to be done so that one can come to the conclusive understanding. And that is what is being asked. Vakyarthascha vicharyatam. This vicharyatam is the vidhanam for mananam. This is what is called as mananam. When they say contemplation, this is what is the nature of contemplation. Analysis of that sentence. Now, furthermore, so if you remember the objection which has been raised by the Purva Paksha, now that objection will be answered. Tatvam padavachartayoho kinchishnyatva sarvajnyatvari vishishtayoho bheda sambhavepi lakshatayoho abhedaha sambhaveti. Yesterday we saw when the word is spoken, an immediate meaning will take place, will rise, will flash. Okay. When you say cat, it means a cat, a particular animal with these characteristics. When you say a cow, an animal with these distinguishing characteristics, that meaning comes immediately. So this immediate meaning is called as vachyartha. Is called as vachyartha. Okay. Furthermore, we say Ishvara, which means the Tat, what is meant by the word Tat, that is Sarvashya, Sarvashakti. By the word Tvam, Alpajnaha, Alpashakti. Alpa means small, limited, Alpa, Alpajnaha. Now, when in the Vachyartha, can you say the Sarva is Alpa, Alpa is Sarva, that what is small is all, though there is all in small, the spelling, but can you say small is all? No, you cannot say, because the bhed, the difference is there. Now, when the difference is there, then that means that sentence which is showing no difference then is invalid. It will be invalidated. Correct? A sentence, if it becomes invalid because it is not capable of generating the right knowledge, that's why it is invalid. If I am going to say a sentence, you please tell me if it is grammatically wrong. A lady was born old. The lady was born old. Born old? How possible? Not possible. There are some films made like that. If somebody is born old and goes on becoming younger, and that's nice. Nice kind of an imagination. But deterioration with there is a sequence. Deterioration begins after 40 in the body. Even the brain deteriorates after 40. Till 40, till whatever 35, 30, the body reaches, keeps on building and it generates itself. And then comes a little point where it remains at a status quo, and then at the peak, there is a plateau and then falls. And then falls and keeps falling till one perishes. So the sentence is not wrong, the lady. It is no grammatical mistake over there. But it does not generate any meaning. It cannot generate it, and hence, because either the sentence cannot generate meaning or the meaning generated is wrong, in both the cases the statement becomes invalid. Alpa is sarva. What meaning does it generate into your mind? When it is said alpa is sarva, the small is all, what meaning? So naturally the person will say what it is invalid. But we are saying no, it is a pramana vakyam. It is not invalid. So invalid means it will lose the status of being a pramanam. But we are saying it is pramanam. And so now we are saying the meaning which is immediate, the direct meaning, is not able to show you abheda. Then how will it show? The implied meaning of these words is what is showing abheda. Implied meaning. How do you reach the implied meaning of any word? And when do you have to employ the implied meaning? Is also a question. Because when you take the implied meaning of the word, you are already dropping the direct meaning. This cat is camel. So you have dropped the meaning of the word camel. You have dropped the meaning of the word camel. And now you understand the meaning of the sentences that this cat's name is camel. You say, this cat's name is camel. So now you are not taking the direct meaning generated by the word camel, but an implied meaning. So there has to be you cannot take the implied meaning everywhere. Implied meaning will come into the picture only when the direct meaning of the words are not able to create a valid meaning. Okay? When they do not become valid, and hence the words, the direct meaning is dropped and we go for resort to implied meaning. So to take to the implied meaning is the secondary path. What is the primary one? Through the direct meaning. And therefore, just remember, those who can remember or write down, you can. Shakti vritti is mukhya vritti. Shakti vritti means that vritti which generates the direct meaning. So this Shakti vritti is mukhya vritti, the principal vritti, whereas Lakshana vritti, which means Lakshana means the implied way, that the implied meaning is not the principal, not the mukhya vritti. Some people will use the word Jaganya, lower. Why did you have to go to it? Because we could not work with this. And hence we had to go to that. So it is not, if your work could be done by the Shakti Vritti, why will you go to the Lakshana Vritti? Implied meaning. No need. Because implied meaning increases the process of cognition. That's why it is Jaganya. Now, lower. Now, I am Bhavaha. So now what have we understood? That in the what do they call, where is it one? Vachyartha. In the Vachyartha, Abheda is not possible. In the, now I have to use this jargon and it will be Sanskrit words, so it would be better if people remember it. Okay, I expect this from you. Vachyartha, the spoken meaning. Spoken meaning means the word is spoken. But the meaning generated by the spoken word, the direct meaning, is Vachyartha. So what am I going to say? The spoken meaning. But meaning is not spoken, word is spoken. And word generates the meaning. I'm not speaking. When I say cat, it is sounds, the words are spoken. Meaning is not spoken. Meaning is what takes place in your head, not in my words. The words will generate the meaning having reached your auditory faculty and then goes up through the channel. In your meaning takes place in your head, not in my mouth. Vacha, but I'm going to say spoken meaning for the sake of convenience. But I'm making this thing very, very clear at this very, in the beginning. Vacha. I require all of your attention. Nobody should be sleepy or, kaan pavitra mat kar lo, samajh lo. Now, in Vachyartha, in the spoken meaning, or through the spoken words, we cannot say that Abheda is possible. Non-difference is not possible. Non-difference where? In Tat and Tvam is not possible. Where is it possible? In Lakshar, in implied meaning. In the implied meaning, it is possible. This is what we have said. Why are we saying this? Because the objection was, it is not, Abheda is not possible. So how have we replied him? This is a reply in synopsis. We will expand it further. But what are we going to show? That though it is not possible, it means Abheda. The non-difference may not be possible in the spoken meaning, but it is possible in the implied meaning. Vachyartha, it is not possible, but possible in the Lakshartha. Got it? It is not Lakshartha. Don't do lazy pronunciation. Lakshyartha. Lakshya. Yakar. Lakshyartha. Lakshatrayoho abhedaha sambhavati eva. Tatha yatha. Now, there is a sentence which is brought to you in order to understand Tattvamasi. Another sentence. Understand what is happening over here, and then Tattvamasi, understanding that sentence will become easy. The sentence is Soyam Devadattaha. Soyam, soyam means soya hua nahi. Saha ayam devadattaha. Soyam devadattaha. In any language, how many persons are there? How many persons? And he? 3 persons. The first person, the second person, and the third person. I, you, and he. The plural will be we, you all, and then they all, or they. Correct? So we have 3 persons. Then the first person is immediate. The second person is next to immediate, you. And the third person, he, is remote. Remote means further away. He is farther. He is farther. He is away, remote. He. You can speak about he, somebody who lives in America. Now presently, so the, away, it shows distance. Now, saha means he. He. Away. Now, of the sentences, this is that Devadatta. What is the sentence? Translated to English, this is what it makes. This is that Devadatta. What is this word indicating? Something which is close. I is immediate, you is close, he is remote. Correct? Are you all getting it? Hopefully. Don't postpone it, and I will understand it later. This does not happen. It will happen now. If you understand now, then there is a denser possibility of you understanding. If you say, no, Swamiji, I will understand it when you explain me next, second time. Second time will be required only if you don't understand it now. Look at this. This is that Devadatta. This means that which is close, immediate, samne, in front. This. That means away. No, and Devadatta, the person. This is that Devadatta. Devadatta is the name of a man. Okay. This is that Devadatta. You are using both these, what do they call? Huh? Huh? So everybody, all of our English is very good. Then, now, this is that Devadatta. Now, the word this, is also used for Devadatta. This is Devadatta. That is Devadatta. Okay. And in the same sentence, if you are saying this is Devadatta, means the one who is close. That is Devadatta, who is farther away in time, space, whatever. He is away. That is Devadatta. Okay, that is Devadatta. Away, not close. But what are you doing over here? So these are two sentences, which means that there can be two Devadattas. This Devadatta and that Devadatta. This is Devadatta, that is Devadatta. What if these are two sentences? What will it mean? That there are two Devadattas and both of them are different. Both Devadattas are different. This is Devadatta, close. That is Devadatta, distant, away. This is that. That is Devadatta. But now, in this sentence, we are going to use this and that. And in spite of using this and that, there is no difference. It in fact means no difference. Okay? So watch this. This is that Devadatta. Okay? This is that Devadatta. Let us imagine a story over here. Puja Gurudev used to keep Mr. Gupta, not Devadatta, he used to say Mr. Gupta. Then, now you met somebody 10 years ago in Varanasi. You met one Devadatta, where? In Varanasi. And where did you meet him? In Varanasi. When? 10 years ago. So distant in time and space, because you are in Rishikesh, this is not Varanasi. And you are in 2021 and not in 2011. So distant in time and space. That Devadatta. Then this comes another person. You are meeting him here in 2021 in Rishikesh. And then comes the sentence, this is that Devadatta. When you are saying this is that Devadatta, what have you done? Though the words have meant Varanasi and 2011, and this means 2021 in Rishikesh. Both of these are different, and those differences are dropped, and Devadatta alone is recognized. That Devadatta and this Devadatta are not different, are one. So the non-difference is established through the words which were showing differences. This is that Devadatta. Soyam Devadatta. Just as this had happened in Tattvamasi Mahavakyam, also the same thing takes place. Tat indicates Ishvara Sarvajnaha, different. Tvam means Jiva, but the Jivatva and Ishvaratva can be left, and that which is there, the very substratum, is that Pinda, the Swarupa, is recognized as one. So non-difference is possible in the implied meaning, like it has happened in Soyam Devadatta. Okay. How he explains. Yatha taddesha tatkala etaddesha etatkala vishishta devadatta swarupayoho abheda sambhaveti soyam devadattaha iti devadatta swarupamatrasya lakshasya ekatva bodha tatvat taddesha. Devadatta belonging to that region, that place. Devadatta in Varanasi. Devadatta in 2011. Taddesha Tatkal. So he is Vishishta. He is attribute. What are the attributes of that Devadatta? In Varanasi and in 2011. What are the attributes of this Devadatta? 2021 Rishikesh. Okay. Good, he didn't die in Corona. He was there for you. He has survived. So now, what has happened? This Devadatta and that Devadatta, this is dropped. This is given up. Devadatta indicated by Etaddesha Tatkala, Devadatta indicated by Taddesha Tatkala. Devadatta is indicated by that time and that space. Devadatta alone is indicated by this time and this space. We have dropped this time and space. And Devadatta alone is chosen to understand there is no two Devadattas, one. Soyam Devadatta, just as this has happened in the case, we will be able to see this in Tattvamasi Mahavakya. Tattvat. But this fellow, the Purva Paksha, the one who has raised the objection, already has said. What did he say? You cannot drop it. If you drop it, the Ghatatva Vishishta and Patatva Vishishta. This Devadatta is Vishishta with Etaddesha, Etatkala. Devadatta, that Devadatta is Vishishta with Taddesha Tatkala. So if the Vishishta is dropped, Vishishta in the sense the Visheshanas are dropped, then the Bheda itself, what Dattanjali said, that what is established through Pramana cannot be denied. It cannot be denied. To which we say, Ghatapatayoho abheda bodhakam pramanam nasti. In the case of Tat and Tvam, where we are saying that the Visheshanas can be dropped, the Vishishta meaning can be dropped over here, because there is abheda bodhaka pramana. This is, I know this may become a little difficult for you because the words are such, but do you have any pramana through which Ghata and Pata, the oneness of Ghata and Pata, is being told to you, shown to you? Do you have any pramana? The bheda, the difference between Ghata and Pata is pramana siddha, is established through pramanas. Correct? Or not? Ghata means the pot and the Pata is the law. They are different, and this is pramana siddha. So when the difference is pramana siddham, you cannot say that they are one. Correct? This is what we had seen in the objection itself. When the bheda is pramana siddha, abheda cannot be cannot be established. True? The Purva Paksha says that the Bheda of Jiva and Ishvara is Pramana Siddham, and therefore there is no Abheda. That was what his objection, part of the objection was. Then we are saying, do you have any other pramana which shows the oneness of Ghata and Pata? Do you have anything? Do your eyes or anything prove that Ghata is Pata? No, nothing proves. So Bheda is Pramana Siddham, which is true. But you do not have any other Pramana which shows Abheda between Ghata and Pata. But in case of Jiva and Ishvara, we have a Pramanam, and that is Tattva. When you have a Pramanam that establishes the Abheda, you cannot say Bheda is true. So now, over here, na pramanam nasti ghatapattayoho abhedabodhakam pramanam nasti. Yena lakshanaya abhedabodhasya, because of which now you will have to say Ghata and Pata are not different, if one and the same. Nacha sarvajñatva kinchajñatvadi vishishta jiveshvara vyatirekena jivaisha swarupam nasti. Yena talaksham syaditi vachyam. I think, I will explain this tomorrow. But what is to be remembered, what is the conclusion of today's whole talk is that there is Vachyartha, there is Lakshartha. In the Vachyartha, Abheda is not possible. That is Devadatta, this is Devadatta. That Devadatta is that Devadatta, this Devadatta is this Devadatta, because that Devadatta is with the attributes of that time and that space. This means immediate, close. So with closeness and distant, in time, space, in time and space. Got it? You cannot say, but now when you have a sentence which says this is that Devadatta whom you had met 10 years ago, he is the same fellow. Abheda, as there is a vakyam, now it serves as a pramana. And there is. Like that, in order for the Abheda to be established, you will require a pramana. Okay. But you do not have a pramana over there to say Ghata is Pata. The cloth is the Pata. Okay. But in case of Jiva and Ishvara, Jiva is Sarvajña Sarvashakti. Ishvara is Sarvajña Sarvashakti and Jiva is Alpajña Alpashakti. In Vachyartha, it is not possible. But in Lakshartha, it is possible. Okay. What is possible? Abheda is possible. Nullification of difference is possible. It is possible in Lakshartha. But how do you arrive at Lakshartha from Vachyartha is also a process. And in this very process, he has raised an objection that this process is not possible in Jiva and Ishvara. This process of reaching the Lakshartha is not possible, and therefore the difference remains. And we are going to show that how this process of even reaching the Lakshartha is possible, and therefore there is no difference. So this is how the Vichara goes. Yeah. Okay. It means one will have to exert on this. परिश्रम है इसमें. यदि कहते हो कि नहीं सब ऐसे ही हवा में हो जाएगा through some mysterious, mystical ways and all, no sir, ऐसे कुछ नहीं होगा. Actually, one has to walk his own path. Well, here we will stop over here, and we will, please do not forget what has already been taught and what has been discussed, because then the next step will not become easy. All right. So we stop. We will meet tomorrow for further discussion. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayana Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmiti Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Thank you.